H-Town, hold it down. Welcome into Texans Today. I am Will Scott. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. We're going to get you guys another Texans mailbag here in a second, but first, I want to hear from you down in the comments section. Texans franchise been around for over 20 years now. What is your favorite Texans memory as a Texans fan? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. For me, it's got to be J.J. Watt's interception in the Texans' first playoff appearance against Cincinnati Bengals, leading the Texans to a victory in that day, that pick six from J.J. Watt. That is my Texans' favorite Texans memory. But let me know what yours is down in the comment section. Now let's get into a mailbag. Appreciate all you asking questions on our community page. Our first question comes in from Connor Zook. What's up, Connor? Will Derek Stingley Jr. be on Sauce Gardner's level of production this season now that he's healthy and in a better system? Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be on Sauce's level. A lot of people, and I don't necessarily agree with this, think Sauce is already the best corner in the league. I think he's probably top 3 or top 5. So it's hard to say Stingley is going to be on Sauce's level, but I will say this. I think that all signs point toward Derek Stingley having an absolutely huge year. You look at what he did in the later stages of last season. And again, he only played 9 games. He missed 8 games due to injuries. But when he played, he looked pretty good down the stretch. In fact, after giving up 2 touchdowns in week 1, he didn't give up a touchdown the rest of the season. He's going to be playing in D'Amico Ryan's system. I think that all signs point toward Derek Stingley having a big year in year 2 if he can stay healthy. Show Derek Stingley some love, the former first-round pick out of LSU. Type 24 down in the comments section. Show Derek Stingley some love. If you're all about the Texans, you should be all in on Derek Stingley. Type 24 for Derek. Brendan, thanks for the question. What are the odds Texans get back DeAndre Hopkins, then go draft Marvin Harrison Jr.? Very slim. You would need the Cleveland Browns to be just horrendous next year to have any shot to get Marvin Harrison Jr. because the Arizona Cardinals have your first-round pick. So it's pretty slim in talking about Marvin Harrison. D-Hop is still a possibility. You heard the Houston Chronicle report last week that there might be some interest from D-Hop, and then you heard another report from Aaron Wilson that said it's probably unlikely. But as long as DeAndre Hopkins remains unsigned, there's going to be a shot for the Texans to bring him back. No one was expecting the Texans to get Dalton Schultz or Devin Singletary, maybe they can shock a lot of people by going and getting DeAndre Hopkins, who you got to know would be interested in coming back to Houston if the money's there at least. Do you want Texans content all throughout the offseason? Look no further. We're your one-stop shop for all Houston Texans news and rumors. So be sure to go and hit that subscribe button below. Also, turn on your notifications, because you'll get an alert on your phone whenever we put out a video. Dan Peterson, what's up? Should we trade for Chase Young since the commies are listening to offers? Yeah, the Commanders are listening to offers on Chase Young, that has been the report. Taking a look here at what he's done throughout his career. He played in just 12 games, I should say, the last 2 seasons, 3 games this past year. So he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. 44 tackles, 8 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. Then he tore his ACL in 2021. Missed a lot of time because of that injury in 2022. So because of the injury, the Commanders did not pick up the 5th-year option on Chase Young. There was a lot of rumors when that went down, they might trade him, and now we're now hearing, that they could listen to offers on Chase Young. Taking a look at the Texans defensive line depth chart, you look at Will Anderson there. He's going to be a star for you, I think, from day one. But, man, pairing him alongside Chase Young and having your defensive line look like this, Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins, Malik Collins, and Chase Young, that'd be sweet. When you're talking about trading for Chase Young, I'm all for it if the price is right. If it's a first-round pick, I'm not willing to give up the Texans' lone first-round pick, which does belong to the Cleveland Browns. I'm not willing to give that up for Young. But if it's a second-round pick, if you can somehow figure out a way to maybe trade a second and a fourth rather than a first to get Chase Young, I'm all for pairing him alongside Will Anderson. That would make the Texans' front seven very, very scary. Do you want to trade for Chase Young? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comment section, it is the pinned comment on today's video. So when an ad break comes, go down, chime in, T for trade or P for pass. Blue, what's up? Sure, if he wants to come back, he's talking about DeAndre Hopkins, bring him back. It'll be good for C.J. Stroud. I'm kind of with you there, Blue. If DeAndre Hopkins wants to come back to Houston, you absolutely should bring him back. No questions asked. You can never have enough weapons for rookie quarterback. He'd be huge for C.J. Stroud. Could be C.J. Stroud's top target. So, yeah, if DeAndre Hopkins wants to come back to Houston, I quite frankly believe he'll probably want to go to a team like the Chiefs or Bills, played for a more solidified contender. But if he wants to come back, you absolutely bring him back. But Glenn Chilada that's a great username, is saying this, and he brings up a good point when you're talking about bringing a DeAndre Hopkins back. Depends how good the staff thinks John Mechie, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell will be. Might be best to not take reps from someone they think can be a legit future number one receiver. You're absolutely right. And there's some pros and there's some cons to bringing back DeAndre Hopkins. This, in my opinion, Glenn, is the biggest con. You might take away some reps, might take away some targets from some of those younger guys. Nico Collins has waited his turn to be the number one target. Brandon Cooks is gone. It is now Nico Collins' time in Houston. So if you trade, or I should say sign DeAndre Hopkins, then Nico Collins is going to go back to being a number two. John Mechie's a guy that has a lot of potential. He didn't even play last year after the cancer diagnosis. So unlike Nico Collins, we do not know what John Mechie and Tank Dell are going to be in the NFL. We've seen Nico, we've seen the potential, and I think the potential is there for John Mechie and Tank Dell as well. I mean, you heard Alex Bregman say this week that Tank Dell is going to be a superstar, and I tend to agree with Alex. I think Tank can be really, really good. So there's some pros, there's some cons. Producer Coop is a salty Rangers fan, banging on a trash can over there for Alex Bregman. Or your rings in the trash can? All right, you don't have any. Does it make sense for the Texans to bring back D-Hop? Type Y for yes or type N for no down in the comment section. Go down in the comments. Let me know. Does it make sense for the Texans to bring back DeAndre Hopkins? Coaster craziness. What player are you most excited to see play this year that has taken a snap with the Texans before? That's a great question because we've talked about C.J. Stroud. We've talked about Tank Dell. We've talked about some other guys. I'll say Nico Collins, honestly, because I just think that him being the number one is going to lead to him having a monster year. If you haven't watched our breakout candidates video from earlier this week, go and check that out. The link to that video is in the comments in the description. But I'm really excited to see what Nico Collins can do, potentially being C.J. Stroud's top target in year one. Also, Damian Pierce, really excited to watch him play. East Texan, what's up? Is there a lot of pressure on DeMeco Ryans in year one? No. I think that the Texans have got to do better this year. I think they will do better, but a lot of pressure on DeMeco Ryans in year one? No. Now, I know some people will say, well, the last two head coaches have been fired after 1 year. That's not going to happen with DeMeco. They gave him a 6-year contract. They believe in him. He's a franchise legend. He was awesome as an assistant coach in San Francisco, and he's going to be awesome as the head coach here in Houston. Now, you've given him a pretty good team. You've given him a team that could win 7, 8, 9 games this year just based on the schedule. The schedule is very gettable. So I think this Texans team will exceed expectations this year, but even if they don't, DeMeco Ryans is the future of this team as the head coach. Be sure to subscribe for more Houston Texans news and rumors, youtube.com/TexansTV.